Remember, the key to success is working hard. For our country, we must have regard. Forget all your differences, let we start to build. And onward to progress we surely will. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister, and let us build a nation together.
Come, my brother, come, my sister, let us build a nation together. This piece of rock belongs to all of us. And I always tell people, even if you leave Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, and you go to the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, or anywhere around the world, this is still your home. And we must do everything that we can to make sure that the conditions here improve, that they become better for our children and children. We want good for Grenada. So why sabotage? Why undermine? Why tear down? Because we are seeing so frequently enemies of progress, obstructionists, trying their utmost to prevent this government from achieving the many objectives or goals or mission or vision that they set out. We want good for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, because this is our home. This is our homeland. And I urge you, even if you did not vote for the NDC, even if you did not campaign for the NDC won the election fairly, free, and fair election was held, and the NDC won the election, and they are now in government. You have the NNP in opposition. And I am saying, not because you are an opposition party, it means that you need to oppose everything or become an obstructionist or enemies of progress. Because if the government succeeds, then you succeed. Then your community improves. And we all will thrive. We will be better off. So why try to prevent good things from happening in this country? You're so desperate for power that you are willing to sabotage the government. You are willing to undermine the government. You are willing to put all kinds of stumbling blocks to prevent good things from happening in our communities and throughout the 3 islands, I say to you, stop it. Grenada belongs to all of us. This is our home. I want to say further, you see what's happening with the market vendors who ply their trade, sell their stuff at the stadium car park. This is not happening by accident. This is well orchestrated, well planned. Hear what they have done. Technocrats within the various ministries, they are still loyal. Some of them, they are still loyal to the NNP because they got appointed by the NNP or they got promoted by the NNP. And they believe when the NNP is in power, they are free to do a number of things. And they are a bit more comfortable because their party is in power. As a result, they have authority. Yes, you have the ministers in the different ministries, but these people, they have authority to do certain things. So they would go ahead without even consulting the ministers. Under the NNP, that could not have happened because they feared the ministers of government. They were afraid if they do X, what would happen to them? Because remember, NNP had all 15 seats. And the whole government was run by one man with an iron fist. So there was this fear hovering over the different departments and ministries. But under the NDC, you have those technocrats, some of them who are still loyal to the NNP, doing whatever they want. So here you had a letter published saying to the market vendors, leave there. You cannot sell there come Friday, tomorrow, or Saturday. Go back to the market. No consultation, no meeting were held. And not only that, that notification or that letter was published on social media first. Not to these people, to the media outfits. What would be going through the mind of that technical person to send it to the media people first and not consult who this thing is meant for? NDC has a history of engaging the people, consulting the people, meeting with the people before taking action, particularly on matters that can have implications when it comes to livelihood and so on. They would meet with you, discuss with you. That is the modus operandi of the NDC. So here you have technocrats trying to undermine the NDC by issuing this letter. And all the vendors are concerned. Where would I go? If you tell me to go to the market, where in the market? Have you allotted a booth for me? So no meeting, so these people don't know where they're going, where you want them to go. And look, when the market vendors were moved to the stadium car park, yes, we know there were less market vendors. But because the market took so long to build, to renovate, to be reconditioned, you had vendors over the many years who emerged, and nothing is wrong with that, who started selling there. at the stadium car park. You have to organize this thing in such a way that they too get a spot or a space to sell their produce. Things do not remain stagnant. It do not remain the same after so many years. So you have to bear that in mind. When the market was under construction, the street vendors, the amount of them did not just remain that same number. It increased. You had more people because the population is growing. Some will die. Some will come on the streets and sell. So that's how it is. When people die, you have children coming into the world. So you have some exiting and some entering. That's the process. That's a natural process. So you have more people selling on the streets. You have more people vending at the stadium car park. So you need to engage them. You need to have a meeting with them. And that is how you avoid all the drama, all the media frenzy, and all this nonsense. But the people who are undermining the NDC, they're the technocrats. Some of these technical people who were promoted under the NNP administration, and they are still loyal to the NNP. So the ministers of government need to put their feet down. You need to make these people know who is in charge of the ministry. You know, I always say to people, if I am in charge of something, you don't have to ask the question. You will know the minute time you enter. Kim Jones is in charge of this. No question. The buck stops with me. I take full responsibility for everything because that's the person I am. That's how I function. If it goes good, I give you the credit. The staff, the members. If it goes bad, I accept full responsibility. And yes, you will say, Kim Jones, you need to take credit. But a good leader will humble himself and just give the others credit. That's how it's done. It's tactical, it's strategic. So I am saying to the ministers, take full charge of your ministry, or else those agents who are promoted, appointed by the NNP, they will make you look bad. They will undermine the NDC. They did so in 2008, between 2008 to 2013. That's exactly what they did. They undermined the NDC because it was a situation where let them do their job, let them function. They were appointed, they were employed to do X, Y, and Z. Let the institutions function. And the same thing came back and haunt the NDC. We have to learn from our past. We must learn from our past. We cannot continue like this because it is not looking good for the government. It's not. And we have to be real. We cannot be naive to believe that this thing, going to just go away after a day or two. No, no, no. People's livelihood are at stake, right? They're concerned. They want you to meet with them and engage them. Don't just tell them no market on Thursday, Friday, no market on Saturday. Where would they go? Have you organized the market? Have you put things in place? And the answer is no. You're not there yet. So why then some technocrat would just throw things out there? And look at the process. You put this thing on Facebook, you put this thing on social media. That's where you want these people to go and read it? What is this? It's a warning to the government. Do not allow these technocrats to run the show. They're going to make you look bad. They're going to undermine you. And ultimately, when you go back to the electorate, you will have a problem to face the electorate. They did it in 2008 to 2013, and they succeeded. They caused the NDC to lose all 15 seats. All 15 seats. It's really, really sad to see that a similar thing when it comes to the technocrats undermining the government. That is what is happening now. When you look at the last 2 to 3 weeks, two very similar things happen. The barbers, the nail techs, the hairdressers, they were not properly consulted. And those who believe they have the authority just go in and enforce this and enforce that. It's not what you do, but how you do what you do. And that's very important. It's not what you do, but how you do what you do and when you do what you do. So there might be a law in place. Okay. But do you just enforce and create mayhem, create chaos, when you could engage these people, educate them, empower them, enlighten them, and then enforce? Come on. So you have a situation where you have the news outfits or media in a room. Who called them? God alone knows. Right? But they're there because you can't stop them from being there. It's a public event. And you have all these hairdressers and simple people being interviewed and saying all manner of things. Right? And then the technocrats will say, form yourselves into groups, and negotiate with one voice. That should have been done before. You see, all these stupidness is allowed to happen on national TV, you know. If they had consulted these people, if they had engaged these people, they could have said, hairdressers, barbers, nail techs, and so on, look at the situation. Form yourselves into a group, have a president, have a PRO, have, that kind of thing, association. So you're represented at the table. And let us talk. This is what the law says. This is what the government is proposing. Or this is what the authority is proposing. What do you think? How can we work together? Not tell them, well, within a month or a week or 3 weeks, you have to pay this or you have to do this or you have to do that. It is utter rubbish. Nonsense. And look, those technocrats do not care about your politics. They don't care if you lose or if you win. And in some instances, they are working for the opposition to undermine you. But you have to face the electorate. You have to face the people who vote. What would you say to that barber or that nail tech or that hairdresser who will be affected? How would you make that up? So the technocrats are making you work extremely difficult. And that is how they do it. It is a matriculative process. It is a matriculative operation where it adds up. It's like they put a nail in your coffin. Step by step. All these little things, they add up. They know the difference between the NNP and the NDC in the last election, how many votes you got, and where. Don't fool yourself, you know. Look at what happened with the CES program. For example, they know that Kireen James, the Honorable Kireen James, won by about 7 to 12 votes. They know that. You think they know? What they did, a lot of fishermen applied from Grove, from St. John, for engines, for boats, under that program, right? To repair, to buy a new one. And that's fishermen who in the business, and they know the fisher folks in Grove, predominantly so, support NDC. They gave very little people within St. John, and particularly the fisher folks, the grant. And mind you, they are known NNP who got the grant up front in St. John. And mind you, they boasting, you know. They boasting on a daily basis. They would provoke the NDCites, the fisher folks, and say to them, well, you don't see, all your government in power, but you don't see who get engine and boat. Yeah, they got engine and boat. NNP, you know. So the technocrats in there make sure that they give the NNP supporters. So I had about 11 to 12 fisher folks from Gov who came at my place, who came here and sat with me. And they say, Kem, just look at the situation. And these are men who voted for the NDC in the last election. So those technocrats, they know what they are doing. Don't fool yourself. You think they know what they're doing? It is matriculative. It's step by step. They pong in a nail in the coffin of that person who won in that constituency. That's politics. They know what they're doing. So when they go after the vendors there, they know they will be upset, they'll be angry, and these people hold things for a long time. When they go after the street vendors and so on, they know what they're doing. They know. Don't fool yourself. So they're undermining the NDC step by step by step. So even if the government is doing a good job in many areas, these little things, they count. They go a long, long way. And that's where the politics really resides. That's where the battle is. So they know what they were doing. And I am pretty much aware of all their tricks. I hope that the ministers are aware, and the NDC the political arm, the political folks, because it seems as though they're out of touch. It comes across as though it's just government. Yeah. What's about the politics? What gets you to government? What is the ladder you climb to get into government? It's just government, oh, government, and them guys with jacket and tie and playing this and playing that. What's about the politics? Where you're going to come back 1 year before the election or 2 years before the election with the politics? That is what you think? The NNP is strategically, they have a chisel and they're functioning in that light. So they target certain core groups within Grenada. They know the margin. They know the margin that the NDC won by. If you look at St. David, the Honorable Deacon Mitchell won there handsomely. If you look at South St. George, the Honorable Andy Williams won there handsomely. If you look at Northeast St. George, the Honorable Ron Redhead won there handsomely. But let's look at the other areas. This is politics. Let's look at the other areas. Why they targeting the Honorable Tevin Andrews like that? You don't know why? Even if Tevin is doing a lot of work in Carriacou and PT Martinique, they're still targeting him. And you have some union people talking about the Carriacou 5, even if they know that these people were not permanently employed and the majority of them were political appointees. They have these people pushing and peddling all this false stuff, so they target in Carriacou because they know the margin there was about 100 and something votes. They target in St. John. You hear Diablo mentioning Kirin and this and that and this and that. They target in St. Patrick East. They target in St. Patrick West. Why? Why? They targeting the Honorable Lennox Andrew constituency. Why? Huh? So they're not doing these things by guess. They know what they are doing. So the onus is on the NDC as a party to become more aggressive with the politics, to understand this is no church service. Check it out in the media. NNP, they have this nightly talk show program, and it's only negative and attacking the NDC, right? And don't believe they are not speaking to our audience. You're joking. They are speaking to our audience. It's carried on radio and so on. And they still control most of those radio stations. Because why? They gave them concessions. They gave them this. They were able to bring in their equipment and all kinds of stuff. When they were in power, they assisted them. So they are loyal to those radio stations. Those radio stations are loyal to that party. So they pay little or nothing to broadcast their programs on stations. Little or nothing, right? But they push that every night, every day on those stations. Over time, that will soak in. So when the market vendors are angry or they're not happy with certain things, where do they go? Who do they listen to? They go to the NNP. They go to the NNP mouthpiece, because the NNP mouthpiece will be talking their language and they will feel comfortable there. That's how it goes. That is how it goes, right? When the street vendors and so on, where do they feel aggrieved? They're not happy. What happens? They go there to listen, because this guy would be on talking for them, even if they're not genuinely talking for them. Eh? All they want is to come back in power. But they don't know that. They listen and they say, yeah, boy, that man talking my language because my livelihood is at stake. That is exactly what it is. It's common sense. You don't need to be a genius to know that, right? And then if you have another group of people who angry and bitter, that's where they... Come on. What the NDC does then? The NDC comes on a Sunday when nearly everybody's in church with the heartbeat program. And look, Terry Forrest says, my good boy, he trying. He well trying. But the NDC comes on with the heartbeat program at a dead hour, dead point. I'm telling you, people at church, they're in church. Sunday prime time is from 1 to about 3, 4. People at church, people on their way from church, or are they still in church? Grenada is still considered to be a Christian nation where people go to church on a Sunday. Yes, you have the Seventh Adventists and so on. Okay? But generally, the Sunday is the thing. Sunday is the day. But you have to wait a whole week to hear them. A whole week. Right? And even if they have a program, the question is, will people really tune in? You have to have a vibes. The reason why people listen to this program is because Kem Jones is different. Right? I come with satire, I come with humor, I come with a vibes. I have a huge following. It's different. So what I do is try my utmost to defend, to promote, to get the stuff out there. Because I want the government to succeed just as great many people home and abroad. So I try my best, right? Telling you the truth, putting the facts before you. But it's not easy. And they're not making it easy. Because those technocrats are running the show, which is extremely sad. But the politics demands that you have a presence out there, that you quickly rebut and respond to these people. Because if you don't and you let it saturate, then your work becomes harder down the road. Because people will start believing. They will start believing. But they are logical and reasonable thinking people in the country. And they're saying, but no, there should have been a meeting with those vendors. But they don't know that it's the technocrats that doing this thing to undermine the government. Kem just has to come down and say, it's the technocrats who are appointed by the NNP, who are promoted by the NNP. They're the ones doing this. But then people would say, but you're the minister. You're the person in charge. What are you doing? Do you allow these people to just do what they want and when they want and how they want? You have to put your feet down. It's what it is. Come on. You have to. Look, Grenadians are still, well, they revere totalitarians, dictators, hardliners, people who are tough. Say what you want. Yes, we could talk about democracy. We could talk about, this kind of laissez-faire leadership and this kind of easygoing. And look at what they did to our Uncle Tilly. He was, open to institutions doing what they have to do. And the minute time he come out and say he's a soldier for Christ, they crucify him on the cross in the public. But when Keith Mitchell was there, heavy-handedness, this de facto dictator type leadership, they revered him. They were afraid. They towed the line. Every department, everywhere. Someone told me some years ago, there was a particular leader who lost the election, right? Went into the Ministry of Finance, and there were 4 or 5 or 6 people in the line, right? In the line. And that person went straight up to the front, passing everybody. Because, he was prime minister and that kind of thing. For so long, prime minister, and, And the receptionist or the person there, secretary receptionist said, sir, well, you have to go back and join the line. You can't just, go forward like this. You have to join the line. And the individual hold that against that person until he returned to the government again, until he came back into government and he transferred the person. He moved that little secretary, that little receptionist, He hold that against that person and he moved that person. Not a person say a word about it. Yeah, but that person would never do that again. Although what the person was doing was a job and was the right thing. But I am only saying to you, Grenadians still respect somebody who is tough and who's going to put his or her foot down and say, no, you're not doing that today. Because if you ain't do that, those technocrats will take advantage of you. Yeah, I'm telling you. And they're doing so intentionally. They are working for NNP to come back. They want to undermine this government. If you can't see it, something wrong with your eye, Something wrong with your eye. I'm telling you. Because these simple things, step by step by step, they undermine the government, the legitimate government. And they are not doing this thing by mistake. They know what they are doing. I always on the ground, I mix and mingle with people. And I'm a numbers man. So when I go to St. John, I interact with people and I get the feedback from them. A lot of them voted for the NDC. And I know where a lot of them stand today and what they're saying. When I go to St. Patrick West and St. Patrick East, I gather from the people on the ground what's going down. I know Carriacou, St. Andrew, St. George, St. David, all about. That's how I function. So I know where this. You see, some people they exist in a kind of, silo, in a kind of four-wall setting, right? Where they believe, well, I have done it. I am up there, and I'm big, I'm strong, I'm tall. 5 years is only long when you're in jail, because the night is like 10 years you're spending there, Yeah. Unless you culture yourself to say, well, boy, that's your home. But 5 years is only long when you're in jail. When you're outside here, 5 years, by the time you sleep and you wake, 5 years come and you have to go back to the electorate. So you have to be tactical, you have to be strategic. Politics is not just running a business or playing nice to everybody. There are some people who want to cut your throat, but they're laughing at you. They want to see you dead politically. Yeah. So in front of you, they play nice, and when they go home, they're telling their husband, their wife, or the family, say, well, I get in there, step by step. I get into him. I get into her. I get in there, I do want to, yeah. You ain't know that? You're joking. Well, if you ain't know that, something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. I have seen some NNP, known NNP, who became directors of different boards right here. Known NNP. Yes, Grenada belongs to all of us, okay. But that could have happened on the NNP. You're joking or what? Some known NNP, they still advisors to this board and that board, and you're asking yourself, but what is this? Huh? What is this? You can't play nice in this thing, If you think you will play nice in this thing and remain there forever, the same people you play nice with, they undermining you. And they're working overnight to undermine you. If you go in the room, you might see a chat on the steps they intend to take to undermine you. I'm telling you, it's like a serial killer. I'm telling you, folks, in the politics, that's how they operate. Because you're doing well as a government. They don't want that. They want NNP to come back, because that's when they eat a food. That's when they are free to roam and do all kinds of stuff. You have to be very careful. Not all the people who skin teeth with you means that they are for you. There are situations you see me in photos, hugging up this one and I'm smiling. But you think when I smile and so on, you think I'm genuinely smiling, Kem Jones? Genuinely smiling, saying, well, we friends and we cool and we okay. You joking? Let me tell you about me. You joking? You see me around and I might be drinking a beer or whatever with 5, 6. You think I'm Let me tell you about me, and I'm in the politics and I understand this thing to a T. You think I am sincerely and genuinely laughing and grinning and thing? You joking? Which part is the same way some of these people are operating? Just as I want the NDC to remain in power for a long, long time, just so these people want NNP to come back in power and remain there. That's what they want. Yeah. So not all skin teeth is green. And the genuine what? Which part? They want to see your back. I'm telling you. So you cannot just operate as though it's normal and things nice and we good and Grenada belongs. When the election time comes around, you will see who is who and what is what. You want to see their true colors? Wait for when the election come around. I remember the last election day, the one that gone. Some of these people lie to a lot of those candidates of the NDC. They lie to them. They lie to them. You don't believe so? Look at the data. Look at the data in St. John in particular. Well, Kirina go vote for you and they say they go vote for which part? Vote for who? You don't check out what go on. Look at St. Patrick East, St. Patrick West. Huh? Look at some of the other constituencies. Vote for, they lie. And after the election, they come and say, well, I vote for you. Now. Vote for what? They damn lie. They come to eat a food. They come for thing. They want thing. They want work. They want gig. That's what they come for. They ain't vote for you. Vote for you where? You joking? NNP did all that bad things from 2018. Well, from 2013 to 2022. They did all that bad things and they still got 28,000 votes. Something that's wrong with all you. Either you don't know politics, you don't understand numbers, and you don't understand nothing around this place. They did all, they ain't pay pension, they ain't pay gratuity, they ain't pay the doc salary, they take them people money from their salary, they protest left, right, and center, cost of living high, corruption, victim, all kind of stupidness happen. All kind of mess happen. But they still got 28,000 people to go and vote for them. NDC got 33,000, you know. That's just 5,000 difference. And in fact, if I add the 28,000, whatever, it's about 4,000 something people. Yeah. I'm telling you. They still got that among the people. So you have vote for what stupid is, vote for what? All you to damn hypocrite and lying. All you and vote for them. All you want to eat a food and you want to jam up like Bobot to survive. I know. Watch. Politics is reality. It's normal everyday life. So a lot of these people, they are crooked. They know damn good. They pretensive, they lie. And you have to take stock. Because don't believe these people like you and they want you to exist and they want you to this and you're joking. Your mother. Which part? Where? Study your people. Study those who supported you and who go there and vote for you. Study them. If you have them, then you could add. It's simple, you know. You can't tell me you go treat your own X, Y, and Z way and you go keep them. What's happening? Which part? Huh? Which part? So if your base, your numbers, your people not happy with certain things, right? You think you go woo NNP supporters to come on your side? NNP supporters don't change. Let me tell you, 1% of them might, but generally speaking, NNP supporters don't change. Hello? Just 1% or maybe 2%. And it's not enough to cause you to win. It's not enough. But do you know, the NDC supporters, if they're not happy, they're not going to go and vote for NNP, but they go stay home. They're not going to vote for you. I'm telling you, I know about the NDC and the NNP. When I tell you that NNP supporters, they don't change, go and sleep with that. Know that. They go pretend, they go play nice with you. They go and vote for NNP. The minute time they go in that voting booth, all they're seeing is the house and NNP. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. You know. Maybe 2% of them might change, but that's not enough to give you victory. So don't play nice with them and try to pretend and play nice with them. They go undermine you. They undermining you. How would you get them on your side and they change? And they change what? You're joking. Turn your back and they put one among the salt in your saltfish sauce. Turn your back and they put in amount of plenty sugar in your stew meat. Turn your back and you go see what they go do to you. They put in your fish in the sun, right? So you go juke, and then you take it and you play and you eating it, you go juke up your tongue. Turn your back on them and you go know what happen to you. You're playing play nice. This thing is not nice sport. You're joking. Turn your back on them and you go know what will happen to you. They ain't good. You believe they're good? You're joking. And they support you and they come around and they sing and they night. Support what? Where 2% of them might change. Might change. If they become literate, if they become independent, right? 2% of them might. And when they go in the polling station, they still might vote for the NNP. They ain't good. You hear me? Because when NNP in power, they're happy. They could do any old thing and get away with it. I'm telling you. Yeah. It's the reality. You know, maybe I saw some of these people who the NNP kick up. One. The guy was on the port, customs, The NNP take that guy and they dump him in the stadium. He was a nobody in what some kind of department there. When you look for him, you can't even see him. They throw him in a whole room inside it. If you see him front and center, big man in union this and union that, you see him? I say, watch that now. Look at them. And I could call someone else, A lot of them I see NNP treat them like mess. Look at BJ, another one. NNP treat that guy like mess. I'm telling you. Where they throw him? Somewhere in statistics, somewhere they throw him, Somewhere they throw him in one of them departments. Look at him today. They can't change. They can't change. Don't play nice with them. Think they like you? Like you what? Change what? I am saying all of this so that you will get yourself straight. Put your feet down. Be in charge. Control the thing. Or else he will control you. Because the agents, those obstructionists, those enemies of progress, they are all around you. Look for your people. Look for your people, and not everybody who have master's degree and PhD and bachelor's degree, and you engage in all of them, and jacket and tie, and you're forgetting the simple man who have the PhD and the doctorate and the hello, them PhD and them master's degree and then this all kind of degree. They ain't going on campaign with you in no field. We don't see you. Watch me. All you, I feel I need the next half an hour to talk, Who does really see out there with those candidates campaigning? Wake up call, reality check. Who does really see out there in the field? When election time or months before election, years before election, who does really see out there combing the ground, knocking doors, walking every day? Who does really see by doing that? Watch me. That's reality check, Who you don't see when you have a little fundraiser and they have to barbecue, they have to cook the meat and do this and do that and organize the tables and the chairs and the music and the this and the going and clean up and pick. Who does really see, boy? What wrong with all you? Who does really see? Watch, as well, I need some extra time to talk about this real thing, We don't see with these people. Not them doctorate boys and them PhD boys and them master's degree boys and them, hello? And them big bride boys and bride girls. You don't see these people? No? And jacket and tie and their directors are board and their head of authority and manager. Where you seen them? You seen ordinary people with these people going door to door, step to step, taking all the insults, that's who you seen. That's who, watch. I'm telling you, that's who you seen. And that's the reality that we face. You gotta focus on them. That's your people, the simple people. Them, yes. I am saying to you, that's the reality. And that's the politics. That's the politics. That's what it is. You don't see these people coming around. You don't hear them, nothing like that. But they're the people running the show. They're the jacket and tie boys and girls and they, this and that, and watch them and say, watch them all hypocrite in them now. But that's the people who normally done the thing. Tapa, shata. They run the show. They're the VIPs. They're the VVIPs. They're the people running the show. All right? They have the monopoly on ideas. They have all the book sense and all the every damn thing. They have it. When the election time close, you seeing these people and them? Where you seeing them? You tell me, where you seeing them? I want you to tell me. Where? Which part? They're nowhere to be found. Nowhere. You cannot abandon the politics and you cannot abandon your foot soldiers, the people who are with you always. They're simple. They're not the brightest. They're not the PhD certificate or certified people. They're not the master's degree certified people. They're not the bachelor's degree certified people. They're not the brighty and the... But give them things. Assist them. Work with them. Promote them. Help them. Push them. Yeah. Because they're the ones who are going to get you back there. These simple people. Ordinary people, man. Ordinary, simple. Don't abandon them. Don't trust them NNP. Them NNP, they don't change. And they ain't good. The majority of them, they ain't good. They want to see NDC out of power. So I have to continue preaching that for you and telling you that. Stick breaking all your ears on. Think about it. Go back and look at what happened to NDC between 2008 2013. I am a student of history. You got to learn from your past. I'm telling you. You think I just worry when NNP people crying and they bawling and they saying this and they saying that? Who cares? Who, me? I care about you. What? You're joking. This politics is not playing nice. You're joking or what? The amount that cry and bawl them NDC people bawl under the NNP for 10 straight years and 13 and a half straight years. They bawl, they scream, they cry, they were taken advantage of. And who are eating the food? Who are dominating? What are you telling me? Who are you really telling me? Them boys in Grand Mall by that liquor shop, and they go there as though they're going in the House of Lords, and they eating all the food. They control the whole show. You look at who they promoted in the ministries as PSs, and in the police force who they promote their people. Customs, prisons, and we can go on and on. Principals and different. They promote their people. They care what you say. All the special projects, all the work, they give the damn people. Because when they give their people, they could go back to them. And some of their people, they're not so bright and not, they give them. That's how they do it. And they stayed in power for a damn long time. Yeah, a long, long time. Yep. They look out for their people. Look at who they put on boards and so on. Got some NNP people, they... Whoa. Politics is not for everybody. You hear me? To understand politics, you must understand people, and you must also understand numbers, and you must know how much you need to win the next time round. Because everything you do, you need to be crunching the numbers, adding, not subtracting, adding. That's important. Don't forget the simple people at all. Yes, they might be, don't forget them. And a politician should not have any shame plate. You hear me? Swallow your pride and go to certain people, engage them, even if they cuss you, even if they chase you, go back like a Jehovah's Witness. You should have no shame plate. Tell me break. You hear me? Go back, engage. Go back, engage. It's simple, right? And who is this Terrence Millett? If you make a next post like that, under my life, I'm blocking you. You hear me? I'm banning you from the program. You'll never be able to see the program again. Don't come under my program and talk about no Neva and when she dis and defend. Why have to defend Neva? Nonsense. Don't come under my program again and say I'm blocking you one time. You hear me? And watch, I'll go and look for you and block you. And I don't care who you are. Don't put a post like that under that program. That program is a different program. What she does on her platform, that's her business. Who cares? I'm saying to you, don't never you come under my platform and post anything on my platform regarding that. You hear me? Don't do it again. I'll block you off. I don't care who you are. When I talk, listen. Sit down and listen. Stay in the class and listen. All your keyboard bajan. Don't put up or block you off. You hear me? All right, good. And that is final. You hear me? Good. So I am saying it is important to understand the politics of this country. Understand what's going down. Right? Let me go and look for that watch or block watch. Hold on, let me. All right, well, I don't think she will post anything in any near time. Because if you post now blocking you, I don't want to see you on my life. Great. That's how Kem Jones operate. I don't care who you are. Block you off. Go somewhere else. I am saying this because it is important that you understand it's about people. Right? And don't get this thing wrong, I defending NDC and I'm promoting NDC and I want NDC to survive. I want them to remain in power for a long, long, long time. That is why I am here talking. I ain't cussing nobody. I know obscene and obscene and obscene and obscene. No. Nah. I different. I mean, all them guys good. Don't fool yourself. I'm different. You hear me? I am saying when I speak, it is important that you listen. I'm on the ground. I mix, I mingle with everybody by. I understand this thing to a T. I do not have the monopoly on ideas. Don't fool yourself. I don't boast of that. But I'm saying, see the people on the ground by, hello. You got to stand up with them because our people, NDC people, don't change. They don't change. They don't move anywhere. They might get angry and they would not go out and vote, but they would never, ever vote for NNP. Never. You hear me? NDC people. So you have to keep them happy, keep them okay, keep them where they need to be. And then you do other things, right? To make amends and kind of add more people, their children and children as they come and they reach 18 and that kind of thing. Right? 2% of the NNP, maybe you might get them. But NNP people, generally speaking, they want to see your head on a platter. They don't want to see you in power. Your vibes? So it's important. We love NDC. We want NDC to survive. We're going to defend NDC. We're going to promote NDC. We want them to survive. But when you see stupidness like what happened with the vendors and the hairdressers and the nail techs and the barbers and so on, where the technocrats within the ministries are doing what they doing to undermine the NDC, you can't stay quiet. You're mad or what? How you going to stay quiet when they undermining the NDC, doing what they're doing to undermine the NDC? You crazy or what? The ministers have to take charge. They have to put their feet down. That is what those technocrats did during 2008, 2013. I always remember that. You leave it to them, they go mash it up, they go wreck it for you because they want the NNP to come back into power. That's how they function. I'm telling you. Because the majority of them, they got promoted under the NNP and they're still loyal to the NNP. I'm telling you, they got appointed, that's how it is under this, that's how they function. So you have to nip the thing in the bud, Ollie. You got to take charge, Ollie. Let them fear you. So what? In fact, they feared Keith Mitchell for a lot of time. How many years? 20-something years they feared the man, you know. But look how he win over and over and over. 3 terms straight. Then he come back, he get 2 terms again straight. The minute time you try to play nice with them, you're in trouble. You hear me? The minute time you try to play nice with them, you're in trouble. Trust me on that one. Because they want to see your neck on, like John the Baptist, on that plate politically. But folks, we're going to wrap it up. Right? Speak Out Unfiltered. Speak Out Unfiltered. It's coming up at 10 o'clock on the same program, Vibes 101.3 FM and Vibes 106.3 FM. I want to wish you all the best. Have a wonderful day. Let us continue to promote the NDC and defend the NDC. Promote the NDC administration and defend the NDC administration. But we also need to understand that these guys need a little, education when it comes to the politics and how to remain there for a long time. So when you see certain things, of course, I will speak candidly about it in a very strategic and tactical way. I know they're listening, so I hope they can make amends as we move forward. All right? Peace and love. I'll be back with you tonight in the hub, starting from 8 in the PM. Bye for now.
The proceeding was a paid program. The views expressed on this program are those of the host and guests of this program and not the views of this radio station.